Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Leadership Excellence Podcast. Your hosts are Tom Lawless and George Trachilis. Today, we're exploring a concept that defines the direction of every great organization, the true north values. These are the guiding principles that keep a company focused on what truly matters, no matter what the challenges or changes are that are ahead. When leaders and teams align their true north, decisions are clear, energy stays focused, and progress remains unstoppable. You know, George, I'm asked a lot on what are true north values. And they're just simply the company's guiding principles. They're fixed points that define its purpose, its direction, and integrity, and they act as a moral and operational compass, helping leaders and teams make decisions um, that keep them aligned with the organization's vision and mission. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen, what your history is with some true north values.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Tom. Okay, so when I go into an organization, and I did this again with that aerospace company, we always list what's our mission, vision, and values. Like those are the three, that's the trifecta for organizational direction, right? Mission is why you exist. So why does this organization exist? I'm going to bring Toyota in as an example. Toyota exists to basically serve their customers, but how? And producing happiness for all is their latest. So producing happiness for all, that's their mission. And their vision is creating mobility for all. We'll get to the values right away, but I want people to know that the verb creating and the verb producing is critical. And this is what we also teach in the Harada method. Don't don't talk about like I want to or I will or even like I want this to happen. Use a verb as if it's in the present tense because that sets everybody's mind in the right direction. So people don't know that that verb in front of what they're doing, like producing and creating, that verb is 80% of the battle when you create your mission and your vision. Now, let's talk about the values. So, Toyota has two pillars basically in the Toyota Way 2001. One is, respect for people, and the other one is continuous improvement. Now, when I went to Japan, imagine cutting those pillars with a laser and looking at it from the top. Under respect for people, they have two values: teamwork and respect. Two values. And we get into it in a lot of detail, but I just want to say, simple to remember. Teamwork is not about just the team. It's about the individual as well, being like a player on the team, being challenged and moving up so that they can set the stage for others moving up. So that's one pillar cut in half. The other pillar, continuous improvement, has a key thing that will always be with Toyota. This is a principle. It's called Genchi Gembutsu. Going to Gemba, going and watching and observing and making sure you've got it down. And then you got a Kaizen mind and then challenge. Those are the three values that Toyota has under continuous improvement. So when I went to Japan, they made it really clear. These are our five values. Today, they got the Toyota Way 2020. There's 10 different values, but they're all around really those five. One I really like is create room to grow. And they have a picture of a cup being right side up. So it's kind of interesting, creating room to grow. So whatever your values are in your company, you want to list them. I suggest keeping it to a small number, like 5, 7, odd numbers. And one
Mhm.
of the things I did when I went to a company in manufacturing, I was running the company. So I needed to bring in what I needed to do in that company. And one of the values I brought in was respect for time. And we built in activities around respect for time. It was my thing. Nobody else has that. respect for time. So every meeting started with what is the purpose of the meeting and what is your desired outcome? Whoever's organizing the meeting or whoever called the meeting, what's your desired outcome? Another one is put yourself in the other person's shoes. What do they need to know? Stop talking about all this other stuff and think about what they need to know. And this really helped me because then I could work at this company instead of it, kind of like interpreting respect for people as in listening to everybody and everything they have to say. Honestly, Tom, we would go broke if I did that. So that's why I introduced respect for time. So another thing I do, or like I was thinking about, is what is true north? True north is actually a true north versus a magnetic north, right? When you look at the North Pole, it's a true north. It's not the magnetic north. They should have had it magnetic north. What is the magnetic north of your company? It's like way better than true north because this is where you're being drawn as a magnet versus true north. So I would change it if it was me. Yeah. So true north values represent, or magnetic north values, we're going to have to change it when we write a book. Magnetic north values represent the magnet that you're creating as a leader to pull your people in that direction. That direction's always going to stay the same. What is it? And this takes a little bit of work for executives to figure out. But when they do, man, are they on the right direction. They're on magnetic north and they're going and they're pulling people with them. Magnetic pull. Okay, so Tom, that's my thoughts on what is true north. And now we could talk a little bit about how you would implement. How would you implement it?
Well, I mean, so some of the common true north values, and first you have to have these values, is some common ones: respect for people,
Mhm.
right? We talked about that. Every individual has dignity, voice, and worth. That's
Yeah.
something a lot of leaders, not leaders, I use that term lightly. That's something that a lot of management, they don't understand, is that every individual has dignity. Listen, the customer first, right? Decisions are made on that are based on the value adds to a customer. You mentioned continuous improvement. You're always continuously improving. Toyota's been doing this for what, 7, 8 decades? And it isn't like they said, hey, we're perfect now. No, they continuously improve. Safety and quality first. Protect people. If you protect people, people will, if they really feel that you care about them, they're going to do anything that you need them to do. You have to protect them sometimes from themselves because they will do everything they need to do to get something done. Now, here's the thing that I find that leadership anymore is really bad at accountability,
Mm.
right? You have to take ownership for your results and behaviors, right? If your company's doing something, look in a mirror because they're following you, right? They're following your actions. And even though you might think that, oh, I'm putting on this facade, right? They can see through that because they're seeing your actions. You also mentioned going to the floor, right? Going to the Gemba.
Mhm.
Don't just say that, hey, I'm going to get the Gemba. Do it. I've seen so many. I used to look. There was a plant manager once that said, "Yeah, I go to the Gemba once a week."
Mhm.
I asked, "Okay, so how many times are you going to a meeting and you walk by that plant door and you have 5 minutes and you elect to walk right by that door? You don't have to spend a lot of time out there. Go out there and see what's going on. Talk to people. If you ask your operators or you ask your people what needs to improve and you let the take the walls down so they're not afraid to say something, they'll tell you. You may
Yeah.
not always like what they're going to tell you, but they'll tell you. An example of something like this is uh, Alan Mulally with Ford Motor Company, and he took over in 2006, and the company was hemorrhaging billions of dollars, right? His true north, it was pretty simple. Working together always works. Pretty simple. He made leaders share problems with the workforce in weekly meetings, and he created a culture of accountability instead of fear. This is something that this isn't new. Taking fear out of everything, it's not new. It's not a new concept. Heck, Deming said that what in the 40s or 50s. It's like, come on. And with his leadership, um, they didn't take government bailout funds. Ford didn't, right? Um, so really, the lesson there is that True North gives people confidence to tell the truth and solve real problems instead of hiding them. So first, like you mentioned, you define what your True North means. What do we stand for? No matter what do we stand for? And then you turn your values into daily behaviors.
Mhm.
So, it could be respect for people, continuous improvement, and then align, and we've talked about this, align your goals and decisions to those values. And then lead by example. And this is key. Like I mentioned,
Mhm.
people are always watching. What did Shingo say? Something to the effect of, "What are they doing when your back's turned?" Something like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's not when you're watching them, it's when you're not watching people. What are they doing? What are they saying? Communicate and reinforce this everything constantly. Have your team huddles, your company meetings, and then reflect and adjust. You're always going to need to adjust. Nothing is ever perfect. You adjust and you move
Yeah.
move from there.
You've touched on so many great things there: dignity, voice, worth, adjust. I mean, you're talking scientific thinking, plan, do something. I remember Shingo saying, "Look, you're a leader, and you're blaming your people for something. It's like spitting up in the air." And he actually made the motion, right? Spitting up in the air. It's just going to come back down in your face. And
Yeah,
so, therefore, there are consequences. And, he always said, go to the Gemba with a little bit of purpose and use all your senses. There's so many great things he said there. And you just brought up like a whole ton of stuff. One thing I did is I was talking to a Toyota leader in Perth, Australia. And he says, George, do you know if there's any order to the true north values? And I said, no particular order. He says, that's not true. For us, and I think he was talking about Australia. I haven't heard it anywhere else. For us, there was an order. First thing, go to Gemba, Genchi Gembutsu, right? Second, respect. You're going to use their name and you're going to thank them for the hard work they're doing. And it's actually thanking somebody, thanking people is in the Toyota Way 2020, right? Specifically. So be grateful. And then you're going to say, what's the challenge? So you bring up the challenge. What's the challenge you're working on? You're trying to get X number of units out in a day, or what's that challenge? And then you both use your Kaizen mind and you say, okay, where are you at with your experimentation? What was the last step you did? What happened? Good. What did you learn? What's the next step? What do you expect to happen? All scientific thinking. And this is all centered around teamwork. So he said, yeah, there is an order. And it's great if you can make a story happen with your core values. So do it. One of the things you got to remember is if you're going to respect people, look at your workforce. Look at the languages they speak. That company, manufacturing company, there was a lot of Filipino people there. So I had to do the core values in Tagalog so they could understand them. right? Or Tagalo. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's something you got to think about is how are you going to
Hmm.
connect with your people? So this is like a wonderful exercise. First the why, then the what, then the how is what they used to say. But in this case, your mission, vision, and values are the trifecta here for you to get down in one exercise. Mission, why you're doing it. What you're doing is your vision, and the values is so important. They're the principles that guide your decision making every day towards the direction, the vision that you're trying to get to. Tom, do you have anything else to add?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
You
all
said it
right.
so well. You
Did
said it
I?
so well. And it's funny when you mentioned Shingo and some of this. I remember somebody asking him once, something about how do you know what's going on the floor? Your supervisors and managers, how do they report up to you? And he made it was kind of funny because he made he acted like he was walking and he goes, I walk down and I
Yeah.
talk. And
Yeah.
what did he say? He goes, small mouth, big eyes, big ears.
Right. Small mouth,
Right?
big eyes, big ears.
Yeah.
Those are words to live by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was asked about technology too. How do we do this? How do we
Oh,
get, yeah. He says you walk out there and open up your eyes, and he has his hands like by his eyes, like flashing.
yeah.
Yeah. Close your mouth and open up your ears like Dumbo. He was very clear just through his facial expressions on what you needed to do as a leader. It was
Yeah.
like pretty amazing. And his key was get out there, go to where the action is, go to Gemba. He never put the
Yes.
word the. He always was go to Gemba. And
Yeah.
so many of our leaders still call me today and they say, George, remember, go to Gemba? And I'm
Yeah.
going, absolutely. I'll never forget Ritsu Shingo, the son of Shigeo Shingo. It's just
Yeah.
amazing guy.
He was.
All right. Next week's topic. So we covered a little bit of the True North values. What's next? Commit to self-development. As a leader, if you're not doing this, you might as well shut the door on your business right now. Save yourself some money. Stop pouring money in. Shut the door. Put a closure sign for sale or whatever. Commit to self-development. We are going to be talking about this next week. Tom Lawless and George Trachilis on your Leadership Excellence podcast. See you then.
Thank you.